What is up? What is up, chat? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Got some, had some little bit of technical difficulties there in the beginning, but we're trying to make it work out. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. My name is Galaxia Gaming, and today we are doing some grade review. So for those of you who are unaware of what grade review is, it is where I review the community members' cards for free from our Discord. So what you're seeing right now is one of them. Greg, hello, hello. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. So, again, this is a nice, fun thing that we do. Seems like once a week, every Wednesday, to where we get that in. So welcome. Just getting some few more things, getting the queue set up. So today, as always, we have our friend Poke. Pink, welcome. Greg, welcome. Nice to see you guys again. Hopefully you guys are doing good. So just getting some things queued up on my end on the background. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. Hopefully you guys are having a good Wednesday, and happy 4th if you guys have off in the morning. Yes, Chris. Well, I'll have to talk to you about it after, but we got it to work a little bit. We got the stream to work a little bit. So we shall see. We shall see how it goes. But you know, we gotta go through the growing pains a little bit. So welcome, Blake. How's it going? And thank you for your patience. I'm just getting some few things set up here, and we should get right into it. So again, if you guys are interested, while I am talking, if you are interested in getting your cards assessed for free, head over to our website, galaxiagamingtcg.com, and in our social section, there is a Discord link where you can join, and you can submit your cards in the appropriate channel, and have your cards reviewed. It's completely free. Hey, J King, how's it going? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So we're gonna go like that, like that. I think we are good to go. Let's see. Perfect. Look at that, chat. Look at us making moves on the fly. Just found 2 of those Gardevoir and Blissey tins at my local Walmart. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Where would you submit vintage? Submit vintage. You mean for a grade review? Because if you're talking about that, you can just submit it right on the, right through the Discord. But, yeah, just right into the, in the grade review is totally fine. All right. Without further ado, let us get right into it. So, the way it works is, again, I just, I go through, and we're going to take a look and see what these cards would get as a PSA grade. So, first up is Poke with the Charizard from base set. So, let's take a look. So there is a little bit of whitening on the top, but not too much. Corners look good, edges look good. Some scratches by the mouth, but not too bad. Team Rocket, thanks so much for the following on TikTok. Appreciate it. Oh, I see. So if you're talking about submitting like for review for graded cards, you can just submit those in the media channel. If that's what you're asking, sorry. Okay, so scratches on the mouth. A little bit, but not too bad. Let's flip it on over. Melvin and Raymond, welcome. But on the back, we do have a little bit of whitening on the top. So we have some right here on the tops, and the left and the right corners. Not too bad. And there does appear to be a little bit of some dust on the left side, but not too bad. So while I am getting that set up, so this is where you guys can weigh in. So over on TikTok, I'm activating a poll. If you want to see and weigh in what you think this card would get, a blue little clipboard should have popped up in the top left-hand corner of your device. Drew, hey Galaxia, I was wondering how I could submit a card. Yes, Drew. Yep. So if you just go to either in the link in my bio or in the link of the video description for the Discord, there should be one in there. And then once you sign up, if you go to the Grade Review channel, just submit your cards. Just make sure to follow the rules and the pinned messages, just because it's hard for me to assess a card in a sleeve, for example. But yeah, it's totally free. And yeah. I'm so glad everyone is sleeping on the Radiant right now, because I'm about to pick up all the Japanese. That's awesome, Tired. Yeah, it seems like you're definitely trying to pick those up for sure. All right. So we got a wide range here. So chat grade is a 9. So you guys are thinking 9. So what do I think this Zard would get? So I recently pulled a Blastoise from Vintage Booster Pack and sent it straight to PSA, and it was a 7. Yeah, I mean, you know, a good rule of thumb is that just because a card comes fresh from a pack does not guarantee the 10, unfortunately. But I mean, it's pretty cool that you were able to get a vintage card anyway. So that's really cool. Okay, so what am I thinking this Zard would get? So we do have a little bit of whitening on the top there, on this front side. The corners and edges look pretty good though, aside from the top. Yeah, exactly. Tired. Pack fresh does not equal 10. So we have some scratches by the mouth, but not too many. But as we flip it over, really where we flip it over is where we're seeing most of the issues. So we have some whitening on the top left, top right, and center. We do have a little bit of whitening there on the left side, but not too bad. As well as some whitening on the surface of the card. But, again, not too bad. Considering it being vintage. So I would say, for me, I would say that I would probably assess this card with the whitening on the top and the mild scratches on the hollow and the whitening. I'd probably say an 8 would be my guess, to be honest. But still pretty good. Can't complain. Alright, next up, we have the Blastoise. Got the Blastoise from base. So we got a little bit of a base set 2 vibe going on. Yeah, go for it, Chris. Do I do polishes? No, I don't. Because I resell these cards. Either I'll resell them or get them graded. And I do not. How do we submit? So the way you submit in the Discord is I have a pinned video over on my TikTok called Grade Review and How To. So you give that a watch. It's about a 45-second video. It'll tell you how to join the Discord, what channel to submit on, and the most important one, I cannot stress it enough, are the instructions. Because if you submit a card in a sleeve, for example, it's very hard for me to tell. So that's probably the best way. It's completely free unless you want it to be expedited. The Discord does offer subscriptions. The cheapest one is $4.99 a month. And it gives you expedited as well. So a lot of options for you. And one of the new things that I'm doing as well, I'm still trying to do the trial and error. But I'm also, if you want a little bit more of a different experience, I'm also doing multi-streaming. So I'm also streaming over on YouTube as well. So if you want to check me out over there, have a little bit more of a lurk mode, I'm over live on YouTube as well. All right, next up we have the Blastoise with the little swirl by the little palm. So let's take a crack at it. So not a lot of whitening on this one, like we saw on the Zard. So corners are good, edges are good. Let's see. The hollowing is really good, and again, this is a nice little swirl here. I bet if we look at it at a different angle, that swirl would really be popping. But so far so good. So as we flip it over, we have a little bit of whitening on the top. Not too bad though. We also have... Actually, I don't think that's anything, now that I really look at it. A little bit of whitening on that bottom left, but not too bad, and a little bit on the top right. So I would say, honestly... Man, this is a really... Hey, Poke, how's it going? Perfect timing. We're looking at your cards right now. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, I mean, I think this card, honestly, is in pretty good shape. Let me start up a new poll for you guys. Again, if you want to weigh in over on TikTok, the poll should have popped up on the top left-hand corner of your device if you want to weigh in. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to chill a chat. Is this from the grade review in Discord? Yep, exactly, Joshua. So right now, I'm looking over Poke's submission right now. Am I able to submit One Piece as well as Pokemon, or is it strictly Pokemon? Drew, for right now, it's just Pokemon. Just for transparency, I just have more experience in it. Even though a lot of the same principles are the same, so you can kind of take that as well. But I strictly, for now, just Pokemon specifically. Tired's thinking 9. I think it's in a really good shape, for sure. I think it's in really good shape. We cannot forget about the grilled cheese, that's for sure. We cannot forget about the grilled cheese. Alright, so you guys are all over the place. We have 1 vote for 10, 1 vote for 9, 1 vote for 7 or 6. Who wants to swing the vote over on the TikTok? Who wants to swing that vote? I think it's a really good condition for sure. Alright, perfect. 7 or 6. So chat is thinking 7 or 6. Alright, so what am I thinking this Blasty would get? Oh, the grilled cheese is not getting a 10. I can tell you that right now, Poke. All high and mighty with your butt ends of your grilled cheese. Hey, Bliss, how's it going? So corners are good, edges are good, centering looks good, and the hollow looks good. So far, so good. As we flip it over, really the only thing I see is just a little bit of whitening here on the top center, the little bit possibly on the top right, and a little bit on the bottom left. So I would say with the 3 little white dots, I probably would give it an 8. But it is a solid 8 for sure. Top left too. I think that might be a little bit of like something up with the camera, to be honest, Lewis. I've seen that a few times on some of Poke's pictures, but still pretty strong card for sure. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about over on the TikTok, if you guys have any questions about what we're doing, feel free to let me know in chat. Again, this is a grade review, completely free. And, yeah. Alright, so... Next up, we have the Gyarados. Gyarados from base set 2. Again, we're having a little bit of a base set 2 night tonight, for sure. So let's take a gander here. All right, so centering, corners, edges, great. Man, you're really making my job, like I've said this at least 10 times. Most of these cards, you're making it very easy for me just to like fly through. Like the fact that I can't see anything on this Gyarados is a good sign. On the back, do have a little bit of some like specs that I always say this, that we can just get cleaned off with a microfiber cloth or something like that. Not the end of the world. Mike and Bliss are going through an auctioneer. But I think most of that can probably be wiped off. The only thing I do see, though, and hopefully you guys can see it on stream, it almost looks like some black, like ink or black gunk there on the top. I don't know if you guys can see that. At least that's what it appears to look like. But but that's probably going to be a little bit tough to get off, probably. I'm not too sure. But that is something to consider. The Tiny Diny's coming in. Appreciate it, Poke. So yeah, I would say if we can get this ink off and like these little specks, even that, it kind of even looks like that one in the bottom right too, a little bit. It's kind of like a lightish blotch. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I feel like you have to like really crank your brightness to see the stuff that I'm trying to point out, but I have some dirt there on the top. That's what it seems like. But yeah, a lot of this looks like it can probably be fixed. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, so the front looks really good. It's really just the back. That I think if we can clean most of that, if we can clean this like darker spots, these lighter spots in the bottom right, and just clean up some of these, you're probably looking at a 7. But if you can't, we're probably going to like the 6, even the 5 category, honestly. So this one's a good example on, some of the cards that you can clean and with the potential of improving their score, doing it that way. So, ooh, look at that swirl, chat. That Clefairy swirl. Whew. That is nice. That is nice. All right, so the only thing I see on this one, unless it'll be interesting to see when we flip it over, is this top right-hand corner has a little bit of whitening on the top right. But not too bad. It'll be interesting to see if that's the case when we flip it over. Let's see. The surface looks good. Yeah, surface looking really good. Yeah, let's just flip it over. We do have some mild whitening on the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. But it's like extremely mild. To where I'm not even really worried about it myself. But yeah, that's pretty good shape, man. I can't find where you're at on grading in the Discord. So right now I'm working on the subs first. So subscribers have priority on their grade review. So right now I'm working on Pokes, and then J King is up next, and those are the 2 subs for the night, and then it shifts over to the non-subs. So let's see. So yeah, I think overall this card's in pretty good shape. I'd probably say with just like the mild whitening, probably looking maybe at like an 8 or a 7, like on this bottom part. Probably be a 7. But pretty strong, I will say. So the next, I have to get your other ones prepped here. If I can. There we go. All right, let's see. Because I think you had some more, Poke, I'm pretty sure. Yes, you did. Ah, that's what was happening. They're out of order. I'm like, I know you had some. There we go. Okay. So, next, we have the Clefairy we just finished. The Mew. Ugh. Oh, yeah, for subs, for whatever reason, Joshua, like, if you have an Android device, for whatever reason, you can't buy a subscription, through the Discord. Because I even reached out to Discord support. You can do it on iOS, but you can't do it on Android for whatever reason. But anyway, movie promo Mew. And before I continue, does anyone know for the Japanese what error you should be looking for when you're looking at Japanese Mews? Does anyone know the error that's pretty sought after? Wicked with the fast one as always. Yes. It's the, what is it, the Nintendo is how they spelled it, the Nintendo. So if we look, yes, Nintendo. No misspelled. Tony, thanks so much for liking the live. I appreciate that. Yes, the Nintendo. But look at that swirl in the dead forehead, Chad. That's pretty cool, huh? That's pretty sick. Can't the back be upside down? Yes, it can. I think it can be, Tired. I think, I actually saw someone, not too long ago, show a video about that. Yes. Yep, Chris, you're right. Yeah, they spelled it wrong in the translation. Okay, so let us take a look. Centering. It almost looks like the centering on the right may be looking a little bit thicker than the left, but not by much. I know, OMG. I feel like everyone had this card. Let's see. Corner's looking good. Edge is looking good. It almost looks like we do have some form of a print line or something. I don't know if that's common. Yes, Chris. Yep. I'm streaming on both. I'm streaming on YouTube and TikTok. Look at me. Upgrading my game. I'll talk to you more about it, what the workaround I had to do, once the stream's done. It's not optimal by any means, but it gets the job done. So yeah, that might be a print line. I'm not too sure. Right across. Oh, there's the corn. Thank you, Wicked. I appreciate that. I know. Well, it was all for like the gifts and all that stuff that you guys have been generous enough to give me. That's like I said, everything that I get from this goes right back into the stream. So it's a little scuffed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still learning. I'm still improving it. But if you want the full experience, I'm going over. I'm on YouTube. You can actually see my wall of cards on my YouTube channel. But yeah, let's see. I think it's honestly in pretty good shape. I don't see any whitened corners. I only see that print line across on the back, but not too bad. And I really don't even see anything on the front. I think this would be a pretty good, like, 8 or 9 contender for sure. But since it's a promo, you know, 8 or 9s, you know, are they going to be up there? Probably not, but it's still, for vintage, I always think it's impressive. Okay, so misspelled? No, it is not misspelled. Shucks. This definitely is off center. You can definitely see on that right side compared to the left. It's a little bit thicker on this side than it is on the left side. Let's see. So this one actually is pretty sick because it has a swirl right in the belly, which is really cool. As well as in the bottom center. So this one's a double swirl, chat. That's pretty cool. No scratches from what I can tell. Yeah, so the other one must have been that print line going across. Definitely should not be there. But Hey, Betty, how's it going? I know, look at me. We do have a little bit of something there on the bottom. I'm not too sure what that is, but probably get that wiped off. But yeah, it's just the centering. The centering on this, on the front right, and then the... Yeah, Rob, it is really clean, for sure. It's just the centering that's really taking this back. I think this would be a really strong 8, just because of the centering. But man, it is clean nonetheless. Alright, so probably one of my most favorite cards, to be honest, is the Birthday Pikachu. It's like... I think it's just more nostalgia than anything for me for the Birthday Pikachu artwork. That's why I was super pumped when they made the Celebrations reprint. So I thought that was really cool. So let us take a look. So again, a little bit thicker on that right side than it is on the left. So this is from the 2nd anniversary. Your girlfriend has this card? Well, this card's awesome. And it's funny, too, because I always wonder how many kids actually wrote down their name on the card. Because I feel like that's really what would make these higher in terms of price if you actually got one as like a PSA 10. Because, you know, people are so encouraged to write on them. The Celebrations one, gotcha. I mean, still, I love this card. But... yeah, besides the centering, this card's in really good shape. Oh, and the centering's really good on the back, too. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Or am I going to the Collecticons? I think I'm going to start going next year. That's one of my goals. I want to start going next year. I know, JoJo. It is a nice card. But yeah, I just signed up to go on a circuit, hopefully soon, in the New York area. So, more to come on that. So, I'm definitely going to be going to way more shows here soon. Super excited for it. Including Collecticon. I really want to go to a Collecticon. But yeah, just the centering. It's such a shame. On the front, the centering's a little off, but the card is in great shape. So, I'd say probably, like, with the centering, you're probably looking at an 8 on the front. But man, what a nice card. What a nice card. Alright, so that is your submission, Poke. Thank you as always. I've said it once and I'll say it 10,000 more times. I always appreciate... Oh, we have your... So chat, we need to hone in here for a second, okay? We need to really focus. Real question, any bonuses if I boost on the Discord? I was going to do it, but I didn't see if there was. I honestly didn't even know that, I didn't even know that you could grant bonuses or incentives for boosting the server, to be honest. I mean, I appreciate it. I just, like, to be honest, I haven't even thought of that. But I'll definitely think about it in moving forward, though. So right now, I'd say no. But I appreciate it. Appreciate you doing that if you are going to. So Poke asked me, and this is something, chat, that we need to really focus up here. So for those of you who have been here, I always talk about some of the best ways to make grilled cheese is using mayonnaise instead of butter to apply to the bread. So Poke, who just finished his submission, has made a grilled cheese, but with the ends of the bread. So I have to know, do you guys in chat actually enjoy, what do they call it, the heels, right? The heels of the bread? That's what I'm saying, right? I can't be the only one. Poke, this is probably the only time. I'm sorry, this is the only time I'm ever going to bully you. That is crazy. Chris is another heel enjoyer. It's not even... Chat, this isn't even... Look at that centering, though. The left is so much thicker than the right. What are you doing? That's crazy. What are you doing? If I made that, I'd put the ends against the cheese. Easy black label. It's literally, yeah. But it's off center, though. The left side is so much thicker than the right. That's crazy. And look at these, like, and we can also see, too, like, we have frayed edges here. So we have frayed edges. Like, you could probably clean this with a microfiber cloth, these burn marks. But yeah, Not Lewis, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate that very much. Make sure to, if you're not in the Discord already, make sure to join and reach out to me so I can add you to the appropriate group for expedited grade review. But thank you so much. Perfect, okay. Well, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know, chat. I instantly throw these away. But apparently, if you ever want to be like, I don't know, like green, we all know to mail all the heels of our bread to Poke because he'll eat them. So you're like a bird now. You're like a goose. You're like a goose on the lake that we're now about to feed you, and you're just gonna have like mountains of bread heels delivered to your doorstep. So take that. You have opened that can of worms that unfortunately can no longer be closed, my friend. It is what it is. You're the one that made the grilled cheese, not me. Ugh. I admire. I appreciate you making it with mayonnaise though, but man, the heels of the bread. I don't know about that. That's crazy. All right. Next up, we have J King. Get yours queued up here. A nice little spread here of some modern and vintage. Let's see. Let me just catch up with chat real quick. How much does a small white spot on the back typically knock a card? So I'd say if you're gonna be in here for a little bit, you'll definitely see a wide range of whitened edges that we'll see, and you'll kind of get a sense of like what we assess them at. I mean, honestly, it just kind of varies. Jojo, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Sandwich number 2. I thought they were all the same, to be honest. Oh no, they weren't. You know what? I'll humor you. Look at that, chat. That's perfection. That is perfection. Yeah, anytime user, and it's completely free, for sure. It is first come, first serve, though, so if you put it in the Discord, it might take a little bit. So if you need it... Hey, J King! Oh, look at you. Hopping over on YouTube. What up? It's like the secret sauce over here. It does look good. A smidged overcooked. Greg is taking shots at you, Poke. Just letting you know. Questioning your cooking skills. Alright. So, let's get into J King's submission. So first up, we have the Skarmory from, what is this, Neo Genesis? So centering is pretty good. Corners and edges, pretty good. Man. This almost seems to be possibly like a first, the first 10 contender. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Jojo, thanks for liking the live. Appreciate it. This might be our first 10 contender, chat. This is a pretty good card. What do you guys think? Let me start a poll over on the TikTok. curious if what you guys think this Skarmory would get. Extra crispy, huh? It is a very beautiful card, for sure. Like, legitimately, I think this is probably a good potential 10. I'm kind of like giving away what I'm thinking. Unless there's something else on it, I really don't. I really think that it's why do I feel like this is a trap? What do you mean, Greg? Greg, maybe you're trapping me, huh? You ever think about that? Maybe you're the one I need to look out for. Am I taking submissions? Always, Whitehawk. So all this is, just for context, if anyone else is curious, so this is just a grade review. It's a completely free service I like to offer to the community once a week. And so right now, as long as you just join the Discord and submit your cards in the grade review channel, we just review them for free. It's a first come, first serve though. So if you need yours reviewed sooner rather than later, I do offer a subscription either through TikTok or Discord. The Discord one's probably a little bit easier, if I'm going to be honest. But if you want to take a look at the queue for grade review, one of the mods should be able to help you out on to help you get a gauge on how much the queue is. But I'd say, like, if you're to submit, because subs get expedited, so they take priority, you're probably looking at like 2 to 3 weeks, just to be honest. But all right, so chat, you guys are thinking 10. Honestly, I'm also thinking 10. I'm not even gonna lie to you, chat. I'm also thinking 10. Is that, like, I think this is a really, unless there's something popping out that we cannot see, I think that's a good 10 contender for sure. So good job there. All right, so next up we have the Leafeon V-Star. Now, most of you guys, from what I've said before, Modern, I tend to go pretty quick, because most people for Modern are just looking for either 10s or bust, essentially. So, Bill Cosby, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I'm also streaming over on YouTube, too, if you want to see my wall of cards, and my cat is actually here, if you want to see my cat. I entice you over, because I just started to do multi-streaming, so still working out the kinks. It's a little rough for sure, but gotta improve a little bit every time. So, but yeah, so I would say for this one again, man, that centering is really good. Maybe the only thing that I can probably see, and you guys may or may not agree, is the top part of this looks a little bit thicker than the bottom, but I would just measure that. And oh, you guys can see. Do I even have it? I do. So if you're on YouTube, you can finally see the infamous ruler. This is what I use, chat. So I press this bad boy, and for those on TikTok, I just have a clear ruler that I press up against the monitor, so you can actually see me doing it, which is really funny. So the top on my end is 1/4 inch, and on the bottom is under 1/4 inch. So based off the ruler, it's looking a little bit top heavy, but I would check in person. But that's the only thing that I can see wrong. That's the only thing I can think would probably hold you back. But that's about it. Let me get rid of these 10s. Boom. All right, next up is the Reshiram and Zard tag team. Tag teams have been going up as of late. Tag teams have been pretty popular. Okay, let's take a look. So, The centering ratio on the front for a 10 is between 60-40 and 50-50 per PSA's grading standards. It's right on their website. It's not like I'm pulling it out of thin air or anything. So, centering of this card is actually looking really good. The silvering looking good. It does look a little off center on the back, though, unfortunately. We do have a little bit of thickness on that left side compared to the right, but it is what it is. So I don't think this would get the 10 because of the back. I mean, you might be able to squeak one out because I know on paper, I think the back is 70-30 ratio, but I've seen that not be as true, I think, as people are led to believe. Just based off of my experience, but yeah, I think so too, Greg. I think, like, I really don't think so, to be honest. Like, if it were up to, like, my opinion, I think it's really more like 55-45, if that. And I honestly don't think that's the same as on the back either. Like 70-30, like 70-30 is a wild number, like a wild range. And I just don't think that's true. So I personally don't think so, but that, like, on paper, that's what they say, so I have to just say what's on paper. But for me personally, I don't. But yeah, I think that back is probably gonna knock you down to 9, but 9 is still pretty good. All right, the Nagaba and the Pokemon collab. How many of you guys like this artwork, by the way? Like the sketch stuff? Like, me personally, I'm not the biggest fan, if I'm going to be honest. I have an idea afterwards for streaming if you're interested. Sure. I'm always down to take some criticism or comments. Yeah, I'm just, like, honestly, like, I'm just not the biggest fan, to be honest. Like, I think it's cool. I think I like art collaborations and stuff, but it just doesn't hit, you know, for me at least. But anyway. So on this one, really the only thing I see, which is nice, that I don't see any print lines, since this is so huge, is the centering on the right is a little bit thicker than the left. And then, is this whitening on the edge? That might just be lighting. Let's take the ruler here. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're fun, but yeah, I mean, maybe it's good. Maybe the centering is good on the front, based off what I'm seeing. So sorry. I think that's a good one. Can I get pre-sub expedited this stream? Unfortunately, no. Because normally how I do it is the queue will close on each Wednesday. Because I only do like about 25 to 30 cards per week. And so if I kind of open that Pandora's box, there would be times where, like, if people, you know, subbed and had me, like, continuously grade, I would, you know, there would be a time where I wouldn't be able to go to bed. You know. So I apologize if that's not the answer you're looking for, but I just have to make it more consistent for people that have all the appropriate expectations and everything like that. So okay, let's see. So centering is looking good on the Pikachu. Yeah, this card looks pretty good. No whitening on the corner. Centering looks good. Maybe the back? No, I think that looks good. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good candidate too. So I think you have at least two good candidates for 10s, J King. I think that's a pretty good lineup you got there. All right, next up. So thank you, Poke and J King, as always. So next up we got Farah. So let's take a look at Farah's cards. It's a little ways up. Let's take a look. So Farah, we had some Pikachus. Nice. Continuing on the Pikachu train. Oh, and the Pichu. Got some cool promos. Excellent. I got some real heat for the next week. Oh, nice, J King. Yeah, it seems like you always got some nice stuff. Which is always nice. Hopefully you have some more Did you say you had like some cards that you like won playing on the playground or something? Gryo, how's it going? Welcome back, welcome back. Alright, so next up we have the Special Delivery Pikachu. Let's take a gander. So centering looks okay. And a dirt mark that I saw was just dirt on my monitor. The only thing that I could think of is it does look to be a little bowed. So as long as you can flatten that out with like a book or something, that should be okay. It should be okay. So as long as you can do that, you should be good. But this is, again, I think, and I'm not seeing any like print lines or anything like that on the card. So I think, again, we're looking at another 10 contender for sure. And then this was not like an illustrator, but I forgot what promo this is from. 2022. Alright, so centering, again, looking really good. Corners looking good. And let's see. Because I think they just wanted to know... Yeah, wanted a second opinion before I sent these promos out. So it looks like it... I mean, the second opinion, I think, is that these both are pretty strong. Pretty strong 10 contenders. My Moon, welcome. But yeah, I think you're chilling. I think those are good I think those are good submissions, for sure. Especially the special delivery. I think was in really good shape. All right, next up we have Retching Ball with the Umbreon and the First Ed Dragonite. That's pretty cool. So did that one. The OG Umbreon, or Moonbreon rather. Which one do you guys like better, chat? Do you like the Umbreon VMAX Moonbreon from Evolving Skies, or do you like the Umbreon with the moon from Neo Discovery? I personally like this one more, to be honest. Only because it looks more like mysterious. Like the other one is like very like dreamlike, like mystical almost, but this one like I feel like is kind of like I would imagine this Umbreon kind of stalking the night. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more like it's got more teeth, if that makes sense. That's the best way I can explain it. Versus the other one's like, "Oh, I'm Van Gogh, I'm an artiste or whatever." I don't know. And this one can have a swirl on it too, which is sick. So, okay, so let us take a gander. Retching was saying, I'm going to send these in soon, hoping for 10s, and wanted to make sure I wasn't delusional. So let's help him out, chat. Okay, so centering. Centering is pretty good on the front. I am not seeing any... There might be something there above the A. I don't know if you can see that on the actual card or on stream, but there appears to be a little dot there. But you can probably get that cleaned off. Maybe another one, like a little white dot on the chest that hopefully can get wiped off. Let's see. Yeah, Greg, if you can see if that's anything above the A in stage. But aside from that, I'm not seeing any print lines, which is really good. Not seeing any issues on the text. On the back, so we can't really see too much on the top. Exclude, like, I mean, really the things that we can see, but they're not there, is like any whitening on the corners or on the top edge of anything like that. But and then the only other thing is, I don't know, because I have seen this on cards sometimes, where my mouse is pointing in the bottom left. There's a white spot on the N on the bottom. Unless we're looking at the same thing, this. On the bottom left. On the M. The M on the bottom. Oh, this ink dot. Is that what you're talking about? That ink bubble? That's the only thing I see. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, I think that's really the only thing I could probably tell. Unless that's something you can get rid of. I've seen that on cards where you can't. But that's really the only thing that I can tell. But aside from that, this card is in really good shape. I don't think, like, so if I have to be like answering what you're saying, which is, you know, hoping for 10s, I don't think this would get the 10 unless you can deal with the whitening here on the bottom left-hand corner. But that's about it. Or like the little like piece of something above the A, or if this like ink dot will take away from the 10. I think those three in combination probably won't get you the 10. In my opinion. Yeah. The Dragonite, however, let's take a look. So unless it's how you took the picture, there is a little bit of silvering here on the top left where my mouse is. You can kind of see that on the top left there. So there might be a little bit of silvering there. Let's see. There might be a line like right where the tip of my mouse is on the arm, as well as the foot. Like right here. I'm not too sure though. But aside from that, I don't see any print lines on the holo, which is very hard for Dragonite. And then we do have a little bit of whitening on the bottom left corner there too. So I think with that alone, the little white dot, I don't think this will get the 10. But I think they're strong. Don't get me wrong, I still think they're really strong cards for sure. You know, I still think they're gonna get like a 9, like an 8 or a 9. But I don't think they're gonna get the 10. From what you're asking, I don't think they're gonna get the 10. But could be wrong. I've been proven wrong before. Because I remember we looked at a card that we all assessed as an 8 and it came back as a 10. And it had a very obvious white mark in the bottom right. But seeing as though they're vintage and that in that good of shape, if it were my cards, personally, if I think it's an 8 or above, I'll always submit for vintage. That's kind of just like my rule of thumb. Alright, next up, we have Chris from Nowhere Else But Florida with the Mew EX. So let's get Chris's loaded up here. Of course, yeah, definitely. If you do get those submitted, though, it sounds like you're going to, hopefully. If you do submit them, definitely let us know in the Discord what they ended up being. I'd be super eager to see. All right, so next up we got the Mew EX. So let's take a gander, shall we, chat? Let's see. Ethan, thanks so much for following and liking the live. I appreciate that very much. And if I missed anyone else that has followed or shared or liked the live over on TikTok, I appreciate it. And for an additional bonus, starting this week, I'm also streaming over on YouTube too. So I have the full cam, and there's a different experience over there too. So if you want to check that out, my YouTube channel is the same name as my TikTok, which is Galaxia Gaming TCG. Is there another way how to send cards in? I can't get Discord. Unfortunately not, Gryo. I apologize, but if I were to have like multiple ways of getting submissions in, I wouldn't have time, honestly. I just simply wouldn't have time. It's all about optimization at the end of the day. It's like what makes it easy for me to help you guys assess your cards as fast as I can. And this is really the most optimal way of doing it. All right, the Mew EX. Centering looking good. Corners looking good. And I don't see any major scratches either, which is good. But there is, however, some issues with the back from what it looks like. Oh yeah, definitely tea, for sure. I mean, it's 4th of July tomorrow. Gotta be drinking the tea. I don't have work tomorrow. What card is this? Mew EX. The Mew EX. I got some tea with a little bit of maple syrup in there. Very good. I think so. 2013? Yeah, I think so. Or no, this is from the Radiant Collection. I think it's Celebrations then, right, chat? Let's see. So I have a little bit of whitening here on the top. Have a little bit of something there in the corner. Let's see. What else do we see? Some mild whitening on the edge. Some dirt or something there. This card's a little bit dirty. I'm not gonna lie to you. At least on the back. The front is great. But the back is where it's kind of looking a little suspect. How do I submit? So the best way, Chris, well, first, you know what? I'll do this. So before I give you my spiel, I'll let you guys, so if you're over on TikTok, there should be a poll that should be active right now. It's a little clipboard in the top left-hand corner of your device if you want to weigh in on what you think this Mew EX would get. So while I'm doing that, so Chris, how you join and submit your cards for review. If you go to my website, galaxiagamingtcg.com, and in my social section, if you click on the Discord icon, it'll redirect you over to the Discord. And then in the grade review channel, you submit your cards there. And most importantly, just check out the pinned messages because that'll give you instructions on how to properly submit your cards for review. It's completely free, but it is first come, first serve. So there is a little bit of a queue. Not too crazy, but you can see what the status is by the reactions that I set for every picture. However, if you want your cards reviewed a little bit faster, you also have the option to subscribe over on Discord. It's a little bit easier than TikTok, but you can if you want, to where your grade or your cards will be reviewed at an expedited rate come next week. And that's all there is to it. All right, so chat average with the one whopping vote is an 8. So that's the other part too, is that we also let chat weigh in on what you guys think as a collective, and then the winning vote is what the chat vote is. So I'm thinking for this MuEX, the front I am not really too worried about. It's really the back that I have the most issues with. So some of the stuff that I see some scuffed surface on that top left-hand corner. We see what appears to be some whitening on that top. Again, some scuffs on the surface on that back left, some whitening on the bottom right, or the bottom left rather. But then we also have some like debris or something stuck on the surface of the card. But I think, and I've done this in my streams before, is I think you could probably get rid of that with either a microfiber cloth or some distilled water and a Q-tip. So I'm not too worried about it. So if you can, I think with the issues on the back, if those can't be like the surface wear, if it can't be removed, you're probably looking at a 6, to be honest. If you can't get rid of it, but if you can, you know, you definitely get improved for sure. Because there's not a lot of whitening. There's not a lot of stuff that you can't repair. So I'd probably say an 8 if you can get rid of it, but if you can't, it'd probably be around a 6 would be my guess. All right. So thank you, Chris, as always. I've seen you here a few times, so I appreciate that, as always. And so while you guys are... Well, so while I prepare for the next one, I'm just going to go run to the bathroom real quick. So get some water, and I will be right back. Give me 1 second. And then I got to go over to YouTube and do the same thing. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, chat. I am back. All right, so next up we have FF. Ooh, this one's actually pretty big. It took a lot of courage for sorry, 1 second. Oh, how's it going, Mario? Nice to see you again. I remember the name. I remember the name. Got an 8. You called it. That's awesome. That'd be sweet if you could share it too. I'd love to see what that looks like. But that's awesome. Welcome back, man. It's super nice to see you again. Okay, so FF. So this one's pretty big, chat. So FF really didn't want to take this card out of the sleeve. Did really not want to take this out. But they were kind enough to do so. So the Shining Tyranitar. And one thing that we finally found out in the Discord, that I think is very interesting, that I've never found out until, like, not too long ago. Do you guys know that there's a misspelling on... Oh, thanks for the heart. I appreciate that very much, Beasting. Thank you. that there's a misspelling on the Shining Tyranitar that's common amongst all of them. I had no idea until we kind of, on Civic was actually the one I think pointed it out in the Discord, that I did not notice until maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I thought it was an error, but apparently it's not. So let me highlight it here real quick. It's this. The Hust. So it is so powerful it can knock down a mountain with Hust. With Hust one arm. I never knew that. Did you? I literally didn't know that until the Discord pointed it out. With Hust one arm. The more you know, chat. And apparently it's common, because I looked at a bunch of different I looked at a bunch of cards. Angel, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that the Shining Tyranitar has a misspelling in the bottom. I didn't either until Civic pointed it out. I literally didn't know either. All right, so the Shining Tyranitar. So let's take a gander. Centering is good, corners are good, surface appears to be good. But you did provide this angle. So let's take a look. Man, what a nice card. Surface looking really good. But I don't know. I don't think that's a scratch, though. I think that's on the artwork. Hold on. I literally have... Where is it? Because we looked at this not too long ago. In the sense that I posted a bunch of different different copies of graded Tyranitars. Yeah, so it is part of the artwork. So this is a part of the artwork. Right here. Because I see it on a few others. A few other Shining Tyranitars, both that are graded and not graded. Yeah, so let me just, as an example. So here's another one. This is where I was looking at to see if the Hust with Hust one arm. That's common. So the hollow looks really good. The surface on the back looks really good. Yeah, there is a little bit of a peel though. Not too bad though. But it definitely looks like there's something there. And then maybe some whitened issues here. And a little bit of whitening on the top. And so you were asking... I don't know, it looks like an 8 instead of a 10. Patty, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that very much. Also, my son did a trade, and I'm scared if he got a bad deal. That's always tough. Hopefully not. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe you can kind of talk about it, and we can help you out. But yeah, I think, would it get the 10? I don't think it'd get the 10 because of this corner. And possibly this whitened spot on the top there, in the top center. And, we also see some scratches here, too, on that surface. I'm just going to leave it there. You can kind of see all those scratches on that back surface. I don't think it would get the 10 because of that. I would say, honestly, if you're to submit that, depending on how deep those scratches are, you're probably looking at a 7. 7 or even a 6. Savvy, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Because those scratches are based off of what I can see from this picture. Again, it might be the lighting that makes it look worse than it is, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. But that will impact the surface of the surface score of the overall card. So just to be completely transparent with you, that's one thing. So if it is as bad as what I'm seeing on there, you're probably looking at like a 7, or like probably a 7, maybe an 8 if you're lucky. But probably a 7, to be honest. But still, an incredible card. I love the Shining stuff. Super nice. And another hand heart again. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Alright, next up we have Tired. Which I am not, by the way. I am not tired. So let's take a look. Radiant. Yeah, Tired was saying it over on the YouTube. Is that the Radiant stuff definitely seems like it's a little bit slept on, for sure. So let's take a gander on whether or not these would get the 10. 10 or bust. Yeah, right, Chris? Alright, so Gengar alt from Fusion, PSA 10 for Paldean, Zard. So Gengar alt from Fusion, PSA 10 for Paldean, Zard. So from Paldean Fates, CGC Pristine. I think that's kind of tough. Yeah, I think that's kind of tough, to be honest. I would say... I don't think he got, like, ripped off. I really don't think it's, like, a rip-off. But I think if it were me, like, personally, I probably would have kept the Gengar, just from pure speculation. Because that alt art is going really high, and Sword and Shield is going like pretty crazy right now. So I don't think anyone got like fleeced per se, but I think if it were me, I probably would have held on to the Gengar just because it just is going crazy. We live, baby. What's going on, Keith? What's going on? We got the multi-stream working. All right, so 10s or bust. Let's see. I think this Zard is a good contender, for sure. Unless there's something here. I don't know what that is. I know. You got the camera over on YouTube. Got the camera over here. See my whole office. He almost got a PSA 10 alt Rayquaza from Evolving. Yeah, this art's nice. But that might be something, I'm not too sure. Tired if you're on the YouTube channel or on the YouTube chat. That might be something. If it is, probably not. But if you can get rid of it, then I think you're good. Oh yeah, you gotta love the angle. All the stuff in the background. That's what I'm saying. The YouTube's where it's at. The centering on that's really good. Got a little bit of whitening there. Maybe not. I think you probably get rid of that though. Oh hey, what's going on? Look at that. I'm migrating people over. I don't have that card handy, but it looks like a smudge. Okay, so if it's a smudge, you can probably just get rid of it and not be too bad. I'm here for the tea. That's what I'm saying. The tea is active with the maple syrup in it. And if you come over to the YouTube, you get to see my cat every now and again. Let's see. Centering on this looks good. I think this is probably a good contender. This first Radiant. I honestly don't even know what the name. Cats for the win, man. I know. Little Faye. Faye's running around somewhere. I just saw her. She was chasing a bug not too long ago. Just made myself a little drinky poo. A little bit of tea. A little bit of that Tennessee tea. Not too bad. Celebrating our forefathers. Yeah, I think this is a good card. For a PSA 10. I don't think this one. The centering on that front, on that left, looks a little bit thicker. But oh, you guys, so over on the YouTube, you can actually see the ruler. So this is the ruler that I use, chat. I'm not kidding when I say this. I literally press it up against my monitor to measure centering when I do this grade review. I'm not kidding. So on the So on this one, if I... Little Tennessee honey tea. Now you're getting it. It's about a 1/4 inch on the right and then a 1/4 inch on the left. So okay, it looks good. See, this is not a weapon. All right. This is just a transparent ruler that I use to measure your cards. Dang it. So based off the centering, that one's pretty good. Let's see. Radiant Greninja. Centering on that looks really good. That's another 10 contender, I think. The Gardevoir. Corner's looking good. Centering's looking good. The Radiant stuff, like you were saying, Tired. The Radiant stuff, I really think is kind of slept on a little bit, to be honest. This stuff's really nice. Yeah, I think a lot of the ones that you submitted are like, I think there's only the 1 or 2. The Panther Paw. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Beasting. Really does mean a lot. I appreciate it. Alright, sounds good. Well, I'll catch you later. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Okay. Ooh, we have some really nice ones. These ones I like. These ones I was actually pretty excited for. Not to say I wasn't excited for everyone else's. I'm not playing favorites over here. But we have some McDonald's promos. Some old school McDonald's promos. Which is sick. So if you guys have ever seen these. So these were some Japanese exclusive McDonald's promos from the e-reader era. I think this is where the probably one of my personal favorite Umbreon artworks is the McDonald's promo where it's yawning on the roof in the daylight. So that one's really cool. But these ones are pretty sick. So let's take a gander. So that was, ooh, right off the bat, that one's not looking good. This is probably one of the derpiest Squirtles ever. Got Chikorita. Boom, and then a Game Boy Japanese promo. Can I ask you a PSA submission pricing structure question, or would that be? I can answer in a second, Greg. But if I don't get to it, obviously you can always feel free to ask me stuff in the Discord. I'm not, I'm not like that popular to where I can't like give you guys the time of day to answer questions. At the end of the day, I really, really want to try my hardest to, provide you guys as much value as I can, so. Okay, so the Charmander. This one's pretty cool. It is a little beat, though. But yeah, Greg, just remind me, here in a second, when I'm at a pausing point. I don't want to forget what you're asking me. So the swirl by the hand is looking really crispy. Let's see. We have a little bit of a dent here on the top left. And then we have some whitening on that right side too. And we also have some dirt here on the top center. So that's obviously going to have some impact. And we now, with this angle, I think this angle is a lot better. We're seeing a lot of whitening here on the top. We're seeing some dings and marks. So I would say, unless there was a bend somewhere, I would probably, just from the back and the front with these corner dings and these kind of dinged tops here, I would probably give this a 5, to be honest. Just for the fact that the damage is starting to peer off onto the front of the card. We have a little bit of scratching on the front, but honestly the foil is probably where you're best at, but I do still see some. We see some by the feet here, by the hand. but I'd probably give a 5 for the Charmander. And I also see a few people saying 5, 6 in chat too. And for the Squirtle's in better shape, for sure. That was the McDonald's promo, Zeus. I forgot what year, but just look up Japanese Pokemon e-reader McDonald's promos. You can tell by the golden arches. But so corners looking good, centering looking good. The surface is really looking good too. The back is a lot better, honestly. Hey Taylor, how's it going? My phone died, had to borrow the kid's iPad to watch. I love the commitment. And I don't know how I feel about am I on like YouTube Kids or something? Look at me being family friendly, brother. Gotta look after the kids, brother. Let's see. We do have a little bit of whitening there on the left side, but not too bad. This one's definitely a lot better than the Charmander, for sure. I'd probably give this one, let's see. This one probably might be a lot better than the Charmander. I think with it almost looks like a scratch here by the N and a little bit of whitening on that left side. Assuming there's probably something else that we can't see, I'd probably give this an 8, but still pretty good. So that's the Chikorita. Ryan, welcome. The Aztec-looking Chikorita. Let's take a look. Surface looks good from that angle. As well. Oh, that angle looks really nice. There's really nothing. The front is awesome. Centering looks good. Oh, no. That's unfortunate. If anyone can or can't see what I'm looking at, the big thing I'm looking at right now is this dent. So dents for cards tend to really break a card's condition for sure. Now something like this, and this is probably one of the main reasons why I'm trialing a humidor for the first time. If you're patient, you can probably work some of that out to improve it a little bit. But I don't think you can, like, with 100% certainty, completely correct it. You can improve upon it, but I don't think you could, like, for this one as deep, this would take a long time to try to figure out, or to try to fix. But it's really that bottom is really what's going to kind of take you back. But the rest of the card is in, like, surprisingly good shape. And it's not, the nice thing, too, is that dent is not coming in, from what I can tell, for the front of the card. So I'd probably say that like this part alone is probably going to knock you down to a 5, maybe even a 4. But yeah, I can't stress enough, like, dents of that magnitude will really, like, bring down a card's overall grade for sure. So I'd probably say like 4 to 5 on that one. 5 hopefully on a good day, but I've seen some, like, even like if you've seen the one submission I got back where some of the damage was like negligible at best, and it still came back as a 4. So I think with something like that, you might be looking at a 4, maybe 5 if you're lucky. Awesome versus stuff. This, oh man, this card is gorgeous. This is a really nice looking card. The versus stuff was really cool for me. I always liked the versus stuff. Let's see. That angle's a lot better. Oh no. Are those dents, chat? Tell me those aren't dents. Tell me those aren't dents. Because that'd be really sad if those are dents. But possibly savable. I'm not even gonna joke around. Possibly savable. but I think those are dense. Yeah, you're probably, if those are dense, which I believe they are, you're, especially if they're on the front like that, you're probably looking at like a 4 or a 3. Unfortunate. But if they're not, but I think they are, but if they're not, then it's a different story. But they look to be because of how the light is reflecting on those 2 points. I think those are dense. That's what I'm thinking too, Chris. I think those are dense. So I'm probably thinking like a 3, honestly. Because they're so apparent on that front. It's pretty nuts. Alexandria, welcome. And this Mew, I really like this artwork. Honestly, you got some really nice looking cards here. These are some really nice looking cards. Trill. These are super nice. We do have some corner issues though. We have some silvering up there on the top and that top right. Man. It looks so good. Do I know what the name of the Latias is? I don't know. I know it's from the Versus series, just based off of the set symbol. So probably just look up Latias Versus series. You'll probably find it. That was a really cool artwork though, right? That looked really cool. At least the centering of this Mewtwo is really good. It just looks like just standard wear and tear though. Not too bad. I'd probably give this a 6. I'm just really trying to look if there's like any creases or anything like that. It's really not that bad. I think this would probably get a good 6. Good binder card though. Good binder card for sure. Hey Johnny, how's it going? All right. Last but certainly not least, we have Soft Boiled Togepi. Very interesting name. And thank you so much for everyone that has submitted so far tonight, as well as everyone's patience for me setting up multi-streaming for the first time. Currently, I'm streaming over on YouTube as well. Got a little bit of a full cam. Yes, Greg, thank you. I knew I'd forget, and that's why I always leave that little exclaimer that I know I'm gonna forget. So just remind me. So the tiers, right? Is that what you're asking? Can you remind me again? I know it was something about PSA grading tier prices or something, right? While I load these up. Got the Tyranitar. If a card is a 10 contender, but a 10 is well over 5 and 9. Greg, you want to know my on... So I'll tell you exactly what I do every single time. We, as customers, we have to ask ourselves, why are we paying PSA to grade, or any grading company, PSA, Beckett, CGC, why are we paying them? The answer is because they are the assumed professionals in this space. So how I go about it is I am in the frame of mind to where I am not a professional to with 100% accuracy to say, yep, that's a 10, yep, that's a 9, that yes, that's an 8. Now, do I do grade reviews and have a lot of just personal experience and try to, share with what I've learned over the years doing this? Yes. Do I get paid by PSA to do that? No. So, I always, when I submit a card, I assess it at what I think it would get as a PSA 8. Because I'm basically saying that I think it's better. It's not like I think it's better than a near mint, but I don't know. Who am I to say what I know the difference between an 8 or a 9 or a 10? So I always just do an 8. Whatever the card would get, PSA 8. That's how I do it. And that's kind of, honestly, Zeus, that's kind of why I stick with 8s. Because, like, in most cases, PSA 8s, especially right now, are very close or similar to that of a 8 or of a near mint. So that's what I would do personally, Greg. So yeah, even Zeus, even PSA 7 or just near mint price, just submit it. It's really, honestly, The declared value is really there just to catch like extreme cases. Like, oh, someone submitted a Moonbryon in the TCG bulk of the declared value of 200. The card raw is double that. Right? So that's how I do it. So hopefully that answered your question. So in short, just submit it. And like if you think it's near mint, just submit it either as raw price through TCG Player or just look up the PSA 7 or PSA 8 equivalent, whichever has the most sales data. All right, here comes Team Rocket. From Team Rocket Returns. Hopefully we're getting a new Team Rocket set coming soon. So, which I am beyond excited about. That's probably one of the few sets I'm actually going to buy for myself. It's been a very long time since I bought a card set for myself, chat. Very long time. Here comes Team Rocket. Corners look good, edges look good, centering looks good. A little off center from the left to the right. Not by much, though. Let's see. A little bit of whitening on that top left-hand corner, but not too bad. But there is... there is a little bit of a lip here, which that's pretty aggressive, now that I'm looking at it. That's really aggressive. If you can flatten that out, your score would be improved. But I think if you were to submit it like this, you're probably looking at like a 5, probably 5 or a 4. But if you can flatten that out, it improves it dramatically. That's what I was leaning towards, but I wanted to make sure they don't decide you didn't pay for a 10. No, I don't think it doesn't. It shouldn't work like that, Greg. It doesn't. I personally don't think it works like that. There's going to be people, you know, that say, oh, they're, you know, pop controlling or whatever. But I think in certain cases, like, I'm not saying this is all of them, but in certain cases, people tend to not really know exactly what to look for before sending their cards in. So their expectations are like way up here. Like someone even in the beginning of stream said, oh, I got a Blastoise out of a pack and it only got a 7. It's like, well, you know, just because it came out of a pack does not equal a PSA 10. You know what I mean? So there are people who submit cards under that expectation that these cards are going to get much better because they think it's better than a near mint, and it's just sometimes it's just not the case. So I think that's where a lot of that comes from, in my opinion. So with this Charizard EX, I don't think it would get the 10 because we do have a little bit of whitening there in the top left. Unless you can wipe that off. But centering looks really good. I think that's really, if that's not, I'll say this. If that top left, if that corner isn't whitened, then I'd submit this. I would submit this and possibly get a 10. The Charizard I pulled had a massive white dot in the corner. Exactly. It's just kind of the luck or unluck of the draw. It just happens. Yeah. Latios EX. Oh, look at that nice swirl, chat, right by the ear. Oh, that is so nice. We do have a little bit of a fold, though, which is a bit unfortunate. Do have a little bit of something here. I've had chat 8 on my screen this whole time. Do people send you pictures to look at? Yes, that's actually what I'm doing right now, Moot. And Jeff, thanks so much for the follow. So this is grade review. So I have a grade review every Wednesday, and community members of the Discord will submit their pictures for review, and I review every Wednesday from like 7 or 8 to 10-ish. It's completely free. If you want to know how to join the Discord and what channel to submit, if you go to my website, galaxiagamingtcg.com, in my social section, I have a Discord link that you just click on. It'll give you exactly right to the whole server, and then there's a channel called Grade Review. So the only recommendation I make is just to make sure to look at the pin messages, because it gives you all the instructions that you need Because, for example, I can't, like, this is a good one, where if this was in a sleeve, I wouldn't be able to see, like, is the scratch on the sleeve or on the card, or if it's in a top loader, I don't know if the scratch is on the top loader or on the card. So I don't review cards that are in sleeves or protection. So just as long as you follow that. I also have some really good moderators. Chris is one of them. That could be more than welcome to help you out too if you have any questions. But yeah, this Latios is definitely loved for sure. A little bit of dirt, a little bit of grime on the back, but these we can probably clean up, these little like black residue spots. But aside from that, I would probably give this card a 5, to be honest. It's definitely a little bit more light play, especially like another good indicator for me, and this is what I kind of like to use as a frame of reference. If you start to see a lot of like surface edge wear, like the edge wear kind of bleeds into the surface, you're starting to even look like into like a 6 or a 5 area. Dream Scythe, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. I finally got the multi-stream to work. So I'm doing YouTube and TikTok right now. So look at me. And you finally get to see my cat if you're sticking around long enough. You missed out last time, but now is your redemption. Just saying. So I'd probably say that this Latios probably get a 5. Pop Series 1, that's really cool. This Tyranitar is sick. I'm not gonna lie to you, this Tyranitar is sick. Let's see. Peter, thanks so much for sharing the live. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, Moo, I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him. Centering is good. From this angle, I don't see any scratches. Unfortunately, I am seeing some scratches on that P, though. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Got some corner dings there in the top right. But this might get probably like it does look like there might be some scratches here, but I don't want to. Oh, but I also see, I've seen this on a few of your cards. It has like a full-on like edge like bend over. But so I'd probably say like just because the card's condition is really good, but just because of that, I'd probably say a 5, honestly. But Teeler, thanks so much for following. I appreciate that very much. Scythe, are you in here by chance? Either on YouTube or Twitch? Or Twitch. YouTube or TikTok? Let me know if you're still in here. And last but certainly not least, the Shining Rayquaza. So the surface is looking pretty good. Centering looks good. Man, more of that edge. I don't know what's happening, man. You have like these like weird edge folds. Have you guys seen that, or am I just going crazy? I've seen it on like at least like 4 of this submission. There's like these weird, like the Rocket Return had it, the Latios just had it, the Shining Rayquaza just is having it. Like there's just like these weird. It's almost like it was like side loaded, but like really slammed in there. I don't know. It's very interesting to me. But because of that, I mean, you're already looking at a 6. But probably a 6, if that is as bad as it looks. But if it's not, then it's definitely, if it's just a lighting thing, now that's the thing. If it's a lighting issue, then this card is actually in really good shape. I don't see any like major. It looks maybe a little bit off center from the right side to the left. So it'd probably get like an 8, like not like it. Yeah, probably like a really strong 8, possibly even a soft 9. But if this is like peeling up, like I've seen in the other bunch of your cards, then you're probably looking at like a, you're kind of looking at like a 5, to be honest, just from that. That's what it looks. I don't know. It might just be illusion of light. I don't know. So you're ranging between like an 8 if it's good, if that's just a lighting issue, but you're looking at a 5 if that's not, if that's like an actual bend. But, but anyway. So that is going to do it for grade review. So, what a wild group. Doesn't look too bad surface-wide. That's what I'm saying, too, Short. But it's just that, like, weird thing. But, yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up over on TikTok. I'm actually doing multi-stream, so I'm actually gonna still be live for a little bit longer on YouTube. So if you want to kind of carry over and kind of just do a little bit of a chill Q&A before I kind of wrap things up officially, I'm going to be still streaming over on YouTube. But for TikTok, I'm going to be wrapping it up here. So I definitely appreciate all the love and support, all the feedback. Of course, Greg, anytime. And again, if you guys want to have your cards submitted or reviewed on Discord or on a grade review stream, make sure to join the Discord. You can find it at galaxiagamingtcg.com. If you go to the Discord or in the social section in the Discord to join that way, and go to the grade review channel and all that fun stuff. I have a bunch of really good moderators that can help you out if you need it, but I can also help out as well. But for those of you who want to stick around a little bit longer, I am still streaming over on YouTube if you just want to chill as I wrap things up. Again, my YouTube channel is the exact same, and you can find it in the exact same area on my socials. So I'll be over there as well. So on TikTok, appreciate all the love. Really does mean a lot, but I am going to be streaming a little bit longer on YouTube. So if you're going to carry over there, I'll see you soon. If not, have a great night. Have a great rest of your 4th, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. All right. So now I get to just look at one chat. How's it going, chat? The YouTube frogs. What up? What up? How's it going? How's it going? We moved over. Yeah, I had to... So it was kind of scuffed. So now you guys are getting behind the scenes. I literally had to launch Streamlabs and TikTok Studio to have this run. I had to literally overlay 2 different streaming softwares on top of each other. It was the most scuffed thing I've ever had to do, but I made it work somehow. I don't know how, but I had to like keep shifting back and forth. It was really kind of like, ugh. But yeah, Wretch, you got the vertical over here. But yeah, I have to reach out to Streamlabs and TikTok support to see like what on earth is going on. To where you said I got approved, but then when I launched, because I think what happened too is that tonight I got dinged because it technically I went live from my end on TikTok, but then I ended it and then went live again. So sometimes they say that like it's like considered spam if you do that too much. Yeah, I just finished mine. Or about to. It's tea, by the way, chat. It's tea. It's good tea too. Tea is strong, huh? But yeah, now I'm just chilling. About to play, hopefully, my buddy just made a new board game that he wants, that I finally got through his Kickstarter. I'm going to be playing that hopefully soon. But figured I'd chat with you guys for a little bit. Check Discord. Hold on. Make sure I don't dox you. Discord is being checked. What is that glass? What on earth is that? What kind of glass is that? That's something else. Is that a storm? Is that a stormtrooper? Is that what that is? It's a stormtrooper. A stomach trooper. Okay, we got a stormtrooper glass, chat. See this? That's pretty cool. Yeah, retching, it's crazy. Like I literally had to have the most scuffed setup. And it's like the other thing too that I really don't like about that is like you have to go through these like live agencies. Like I had no idea what that was even about. That was really sketchy for me. They had to go through like a live age like I'm not like a child star. Like why do I have to go through agencies and crap? Like don't get me wrong, I like streaming on TikTok because the discoverability is unmatched compared to it, like compared to here. But I'm trying to like migrate people. I'm trying to migrate people over because I can have like this whole setup. Like this whole setup, you guys can see like my whole like my wall of stuff here. I just think that it's a better experience. But probably, probably. But yeah. But yeah, that's what I personally think. Yeah, apparently you need an agency or something. I don't really know. Is that a water heater? Yes. I live in a very old house. So that is a water heater. Right there. That's an old school water heater. Alright, I could just done this. Right here. It's an old school water heater. Let's see. Apparently, yeah. I mean, apparently they do. So my intention is to try to reach out to Streamlabs to say like, hey, like if I'm paying for Ultra, like, and you accepted me to multi-stream, like, why are you not allowing me to do so? And for TikTok to say, hey, I have access to Studio. Like, what are these like weird requirements that that I can't meet for whatever reason? But yeah, but like I personally like doing it here more, to be honest, because it's kind of cool because I can kind of like talk to you guys a little bit more. Like it's like a little bit more like personal is what I like about it the most. From what I heard about Streamlabs, is that they're horrible for multi-stream. I honestly I think it's fine. I think it's really just the fact that TikTok won't give up its stream key to allow me to do the multi-stream. But I mean, so far, like Ultra seems to be fine. It's given me a lot of like really easy, like quick features that I can just instantly use, like these, like this over. Where the hell am I pointing? Here, this stuff here, like the notifications, like that was all given to me by Streamlabs. A lot of the alerts, like the widgets and stuff, were all integrated. My girlfriend streams on TikTok and Twitch through OBS. But yeah, but it's just like I just need that stream key because I can do it through OBS, but I can't. It won't give you the stream. That was the thing that like really was misleading about the multi-stream is that you need that stream key. Even though I can stream through TikTok Studio, I think that was probably the biggest one. That the fact that TikTok Studio is like so prioritized by them that they're not willing to allow you to get off that platform. Because I get they're updating it like once a week. Because every time I launch TikTok Studio, it's like another update, another update, another update. So my guess, if I were to guess, is that they're putting a lot of their investment in there. Can you review my card? I can next week. Technically, I'm already done streaming. I'm just kind of chilling with chat right now. Because I'm about to head over to a buddy's house to play a new board game that I helped start, or helped playtest. But yeah, I think that's all it is. I think the introduction of TikTok Live Studio, they really wanted to stick to that platform and no other one, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I'm going to submit a ticket hopefully next week and see if I can get some more context on why I can't. It's pretty crazy. But are you done grading, and when's the next day? So so it's every Wednesday. Every Wednesday from like I'm trying to shift it more to 8. 8 makes it a little bit easier for me to like get all the stuff prepared before the stream starts. So it's always every Wednesday from 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm trying to do that's what we're talking about right now. I'm trying to do multi-stream, but it's going to be TikTok and YouTube. That's what I'm hoping on, Paul. That's what I'm hoping. That is what I'm hoping for. But it'll be fun. It's a really good game. It's like turn-based. Like if you're really into like the Final Fantasy stuff, like that old school turn-based style battle. Because my buddy grew up with Final Fantasy, so he built a board game around it essentially. But it's way more in depth than that. But that's like the really like if I had 5 seconds to pitch it, that's the best way I can explain it. But it was super fun, and they finally came in. It got funded on Kickstarter within like 24 hours. So I'm gonna try to play it because I've been waiting for it since like November, and it just came in. So I'm super excited to play with some friends tonight. So, but anyway. But yeah, I think I'm gonna probably wrap it up there, chat. Again, I'm gonna play that board game. I got invited over to play because another buddy of mine just got his as well, so we're gonna play it together. But yeah, no, I appreciate all the support, guys. Really does mean a lot. I'm your next 8 and 10. Oh, nice, Taylor. That's sick. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, appreciate all the support, guys. It really does mean a lot. You know, I can't say it enough. You guys are awesome community. Super lucky to have you guys around. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. I'll always hit on the heels every single time. You can't, I will never not hate the heels.